Hello, everyone. Welcome back. So, finally, Kenneth Okonkwo speaks on this wave of defection in Nigeria from PDP to APC, from Labour Party to APC, as well as 2027 election and the possibility of a coalition between Atiku and Peter Obi. Just take a listen and hear everything that he said here. Please do well to subscribe if you haven't shared the video, give it a like, and also leave your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much for doing so.
Thank you so much. You're a good man. You're a good man. You've seen my guest. Kenneth Okonkwo is live for us. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. So our attention is going to be on the trend of what will continue to reshape Nigeria's political discourse. The wave of defections by politicians across party lines. Now, political heavyweights are switching allegiances often in pursuit of, well, some ambition. And the question about ideological conviction has now come on. Many Nigerians are questioning the strength and stability of our party system. Critics have warned that this constant movement is weakening political institutions, eroding democratic accountability, and even raising fears that Nigeria could be drifting towards a one-party state. Is that the kind of feeling that you have, Mr. Okonkwo?
No. Well, thank you, viewers, for joining us. The whole idea of joining another political party, and precisely the ruling party, is simply because of the belief that in 2027 they are going to write the results of election. Nothing else. I mean, it's an absurdity that people will see a sinking house and they are running into it for shelter.
Well, which one is the sinking house now?
APC, obviously.
Why is it a sinking house?
The World Bank report made it clear that Nigerians are going to be poorer till 2027. Have you asked yourself why they stopped at 2027? Because they know that this country is a blessed country. On the day they have very good leader, poverty will dry up. So they have given up on Tinubu's regime, that it's a government that will afflict Nigerians with hunger and hardship until it ends.
The millions who voted Tinubu think he's the best leader.
Well, the millions you're talking about, is it the million that was written or the million that came from where?
Was the election result
Have you seen?
Was it written?
Have you seen the polling unit by polling unit results from INEC for the 2023 presidential election? If you have seen, show me. That's what the law says in section 62(2)(3) of the Electoral Act. That after the election, INEC should post in its electronic server the polling unit by polling unit results of all the results of the election after it was technically glitched. Have you seen any of such results? Why? Because it was written. So people are running into a sinking house because they believe there is a magic with which the owner and the builder of the house will use to sustain the house. And that's writing results.
So all of the results that Peter Obi got in the election too were written?
Now, interesting question. We had 18,008 polling units that we showed from the IREF portal where results were not posted at all. There is no explanation to it till today. Recall that I said that they wrote the results. The result given to Peter Obi was allocated to him. That's written. Go to Rivers State.
Who did?
Go to INEC. Go to Rivers State.
But the court says otherwise.
No, the court is not telling you they wrote or they did not write. The court is telling you you did not produce the evidence to show substantial evidence that even if you bring the ones they wrote, that it could change the system. Where will you bring the evidence? When INEC, the only institution that is in custody of such document, refused to bring it out. We were in the court. We subpoenaed them many times.
On what basis did they, according to you, did they allocate the result of Peter Obi having over 90-something% of the vote in some part of the Southeast, and it has overwhelming result beating the incumbent, the president at the moment, who is also from Lagos State? He beat him very well in his own state of Lagos.
According to the
Is that also the part of the plan?
According to the PDP spokesperson in Lagos, he said we won by almost 1 million votes, not by Labour, in Lagos. So the mere fact that they reduced it to 10,000 difference tells you it was still written. Where is the polling unit by polling unit results of Lagos State election? And the law is that it will be unmutilated. All the results I saw in 2023 are mutilated, you could see, majority of them. So it is either you are allocating somebody's result or you're removing some result from his own.
What were your agents looking at when this was going on? Because I imagine that you should have agents as a party across all of the polling units, the thousands of polling units across the country.
Yes, that is what it ought to be. And even the Electoral Act recognizes that all the parties will not have the resources to have the agents in all the polling units. And that's why the law always uses the word may. Why do you need an agent if you are operating under an INEC that is not corrupt and that will not manipulate the results? It's not the duty of political parties to organize elections. INEC took 400 billion naira to organize election in Nigeria and came out with no results known to any human being.
So you started this conversation by saying the only reason why those who are defecting or moving to the APC are going is to guarantee
that the election will be written in their favor, 2027.
I mean, can you say that of Delta State, for example? Because Delta State is traditionally, from 1999, no other political party has been able to beat PDP in Delta State. So could there have been a threat that PDP would have lost Delta? Because it's the old structure of the PDP in Delta that has moved to the APC.
First of all, PDP from 2015 has not been able to play effective opposition. And the reason is very clear. In 1999, PDP trained itself to be only the ruling party. And they forecasted they were going to rule for 60 years. So the leadership being terminated within 16 years took them unawares and did not prepare them for the onerous task of being an opposition party. So they became a stomach infrastructure party, and stomach infrastructure party cannot be effective opposition coming to Delta State. And that tells you what I say, that Nigeria can never be one-party state. I'll give you the analysis of Delta State. Recall that Senator Ned Nwoko said the only reason he wanted to go to APC is because he has a lousy governor who does not know his left from his right, and who has broken all the agreements that they had. And then he said he would want to move to APC, where the light is shining. Recall, there is one Omar Agege who loves to be the governor of Delta State and who has been grooming the APC and welcoming people into their fold. Recall that there is a Festus Kayamo who is not really a fan to Omar Agege. And then a governor from nowhere, from PDP, carrying all the people from PDP, moving into the same APC. Can you now see strange bedfellows? Will Ned Nwoko go and now bow to him? Because automatically he has become a leader of APC, even if he has been there for 24 hours in Delta State. Recall. Will a Ned Nwoko now go with his heart to go and bow and fall for him, so that in the next election, the governor will support his senatorial ambition? Will Omar Agege pocket his gubernatorial ambition because another leader has come in and may be given the right of first refusal? This is going to implode. We had such a situation in 2019 in Imo State, where Rochas Okorocha wanted to put his son-in-law as governor. And APC did not like such scenario. They went and picked Uzodinma. And Okorocha went to AAC and said he was a strategic alliance, he's not anti-party. And in the gubernatorial election, he was not supporting his party, he was supporting AAC. That made PDP to win at the first round before the judicial intervention. So you will expect that APC will implode. That is for sure. You will hear the rumor. Of course, before you hear wars, you hear rumors of wars. Today, it is about rumors of wars. Tomorrow, it will be wars. You recall that the special advisor on political affairs to the presidency Baba Ahmed resigned and retired from the government of APC. And he even declared that Tinubu is not even fit to be president, that he should step aside. This is an insider. I told you it's about a house that is sinking. The World Bank has said this government is sinking Nigerians into hunger and hardship. And then you think people that are going in there are going in there. Nigerian people will be, and they will have the last say. The only thing that I am talking about, will their say be allowed to stand?
Now, with your analysis, you seem to have painted yet another anarchy looming.
Well,
where do you see the anarchy this time around?
Well, Tinubu has been a harbinger of anarchy.
What do you mean?
Look at in Lagos State.
Is that not too heavy to say?
I always bring you facts. Look at in Lagos State. 40 members of the House of Assembly voted that they do not want a speaker. Of course, in support of the governor, because the elected female went in and solidarized with the governor, who reciprocated. And only one man, Tinubu, gave the instruction, no, I want Speaker Obasa to remain. And one vote, one veto vote was superior to 40 votes of the House of Assembly. What is that? That's anarchy. Absence of authority completely in the legislative house.
But the court has said, or the court seems to have supported that position.
What?
The court in the state.
Good. What do you think the court would have said?
They said the process that led to the removal of Obasa,
yes,
was illegal.
Good. What I want to tell you, and I don't want to delve into law, respectfully to the decision of the court, the speaker is holding the office at the pleasure of the members of the house. So if the house members didn't want Obasa, they didn't want him. It was not the voice of the court that restored Obasa. As you know, Obasa had already been restored before the concurrent speech from the court. So the court issue is out of the way. Obasa was reinstated by the words of Tinubu, not by the court's decision. So that's by the way. So you're talking about the national executive, the national legislature, exactly the same thing that he did in the state legislature.
Let me ask you.
So what do you call that?
You have moved from the Labour Party.
I resigned
You
from the
resigned.
Labour Party, absolutely.
So you're a floating politician now.
Well, I wouldn't want to use the word floating. You know, I always tell people I don't defect. I resign. And then I take time to analyze and study the situation before making my decision on the next move. My next move is that I have said that you do not go to challenge an incumbent in an election without getting your house organized. And my next move is that I am saying there should be a coalition of all the opposition forces. Let whoever is interested in contesting for the presidency come and contest for the primary election.
But is that feasible from what we are seeing? Well, Atiku says he wants coalition. PDP governor says they don't want coalition. Labour Party said, well, they are open to, I'm talking about Julius Abure, Labour Party said, they are open to coalition. Peter Obi said he's not doing and he's not coaliting with anybody.
Well, first of all, let me say, there's nothing like Abure faction.
There's a Labour Party Abure. Whether it's a faction.
The Supreme Court has ended it once and for all. According to the judgment of the Supreme Court, it said the judgment of the trial court, the Court of Appeal, that recognized Abure as the chairman of Labour Party is hereby set aside. That ended anything about Abure. And let me remind you, Abure had a cross appeal in that Supreme Court, which was found to be lacking in merit. And the appellant in that Supreme Court was Senator Nenadi Usman, and the Supreme Court said this appeal is meritorious. And the Supreme Court made it clear. They told Abure to his face, when your tenure expires, go in peace and leave the party alone. The status quo of the Labour Party before going to court was that INEC had said that your tenure had ended by a fruition of time and you did not organize any convention known to law. That was the status quo. Abure went to courts for courts to recognize that he is still the chairman. And Supreme Court said, no, you cannot, Abure, you cannot use the courts to force yourself on Labour Party. If Labour Party says you're not the chairman and your tenure has expired, go in peace. What they are doing now is Iruefi. In Igbo land, we say Iruefi, you know, in the face of a cow. Anything you do to a cow, you know what the cow will do?
Let me warn.
Cow brain, cow talk,
and the same
cow
one,
submission.
and the same one in Mr. Okonkwo.
Yeah.
Those who say it doesn't look like the opposition
Yes.
is getting its act together, and it annoys me as a journalist, where you think that the opposition should play a very critical role in our democracy, because the role of the opposition is very critical. And the civil society organization has its role, the media has its role. These are four legs in a democracy that makes democracy thrive. But unfortunately, our opposition in Nigeria seems to be self-serving and not looking at the bigger picture. And there are those who want and say, look, the manner in which the opposition is going about it and not organized, it will allow for an easy ride of the party in power come 2027. Don't you think that is what it's looking like? Before the opposition start blaming that they wrote results.
Let me first of all align myself with your submissions as to the state of the opposition parties. They failed from day one. They did not even wait for day two. As long as Tinubu's government is concerned, opposition parties failed from day one. Have you ever seen world over, where in searching for the leadership of the National Assembly, every opposition person is raising his hand, endorsing the candidates that the president personally selects for the National Assembly? I remember we had a meeting in Labour Party then with the elected House of Rep members. I advised them. I said, look, if you want Nigerians to take you seriously, when you go into that house, if the ruling party brings out anybody for you to vote for, reject that person. If you don't know what to do, bring out one of you. And if Nigerians can count that 34 of you voted for that person, they will be satisfied that you're playing good opposition. Now, the 2027 election is going to be between the Nigerian people and APC. There is nothing like opposition party. I am telling you the truth. I've said it before that PDP is a servant of servants. I said it that LP under Abure is a house help of APC. Is it not happening? So the issue here is that the whole idea of democracy is not government of political parties. It's government of the people. The people cannot fold their hands and allow themselves to be terrorized by this government that understands only one language, to afflict them with hunger and hardship.
Let me ask you.
So they are going to rise.
In the moment as we have it,
Yes.
that those who think Labour, the best option that Nigeria has to be able to withstand the political efficacy of the Tinubu structure and the APC that is growing in strength every day based on the defections that we are seeing, is to find a strong alliance. Maybe Peter Obi should go back to the PDP and work with an Atiku Abubakar and have a very strong northern alliance. Peter Obi coming from the south, before you can confront a Bola Tinubu or the APC in 2027. Do you imagine so?
Well, that's exactly why I told you I don't want to sign on to any political party yet, because it will be a child's play.
Will that work?
Yes, it will work.
Will Peter Obi Atiku alliance be able to be formidable?
Nelson Mandela said it always appears impossible until it happens. I may not guarantee alliance between Peter Obi and Atiku, but as we are moving to 2027, I know that there will be a coalition. Whether it will be between Peter Obi or Atiku, I don't know. But there will be a coalition. Why? Because that will be the only choice the opposition has to make any.
At the moment, if there is no coalition, Tinubu is unbeatable. Is that what it looks like?
Outrightly.
Is a stroll for Tinubu into power 2027?
Just walk into it.
Can Peter Obi beat Tinubu if he has a strong northern pair?
No one single candidate can beat Tinubu alone, by whatever name you are called. And the reason is this. In Nigeria, we have entered into the unfortunacy that you will not only win, but you have to secure your victory. So you need the elites to secure your victory, even if the people vote for you. So if the elites come together, like they did in 2014, to confront Jonathan in 2015, they were able to secure their victory when the people voted for them. If they were not together, they wouldn't have been able to secure their victory.
We have 30 seconds to go. What would be your biggest...
Nigerians must not despair. Sovereignty in a democracy belongs to the people, from whom every government derives its authority and powers. Hold your government accountable. Hold INEC to the Electoral Act that they must organize free and fair election where your will determine who governs you. Do not. We don't have any other country. Don't mind political parties or politicians. You can say, we want this person, we want this party, and your will be done.
All right. Kenneth Okonkwo is a lawyer, a retired actor, and a Chelsea fan, which is the good part of everything, and the former presidential spokesperson of the Labour Party. Thank you so much indeed.
Welcome to Shamra Seniors TV.